Rider here. Well, before you get to this review, I thought I'd give you a little introduction because there's a few things I need to address, and this is kind of like a special edition intro. You know, kind of like on those DVD box sets. But anyway, this video was the first one I ever did with my good buddy Matt Burkett, better known as Apollo Z Hack, well, at the time. The way this video came to be was, it was going to be part of a trilogy of reviews. The way this started was, it was me, Matt, and our buddy John the Shades, who you know on RVT, and at the time we were all part of the Geek Fighters / Extreme Network Online before we combined into Reviewtopia / RVT. The three of us got together one night on Skype. We started talking and we thought, you know what? We should do a big trilogy of reviews, kind of like a mini Reviewerverse Saga thing. Not as big as what Matt was doing at the time, but just kind of a subtle little Toku, love letter sort of thing. So the way it started was, Shades and Apollo did a little video where they would argue, and Shades would review Kamen Rider W, and he did a fantastic job. I'm still going to review it, don't worry, someday. But the thing was, that was only the beginning. It ended with me intervening, or rather seeing what was going on. I said, well, I'm going to have to get involved. The next step, and we had this all planned out, was originally it was going to be the three of us doing a big, huge video review of Movie War 2010, aka Kamen Rider Decade and Kamen Rider W's crossover movie. That was the big thing. Well, things fell through. Matt went on to bigger and better things. It's not his fault. It's no one's fault. Things fall through, things get delayed. Life happens. So, it never happened. But Shades did go on to do the video with TJ Omega in the future anyway. Well, it fell through, but what it was all leading up to was the big three-part, or the third part of the trilogy. It was going to be me and Apollo doing a crossover review of Shin Kamen Rider, which is what you're going to see here in a few minutes. Basically, this all fell through. What I did was I changed my storyline a little bit so it would lead up to this epic video. Well, it got delayed, it got pushed aside, but we did record the footage for it. Matt recorded it and sent it in to me. We couldn't get together and do this, and I had to do some really terrible green screening, as you're going to see in a minute. But the thing was, storylines had to be altered, and there were some big reveals in this that sadly I had to write out or just plain ignore in future storylines, and you're going to see in a minute. But what it was it's sadly, this video, it's not what I had in mind, but it's good. I mean, I don't regret it, and I'm sure Matt doesn't, and I can't thank him enough for working with me. And this is when Matt was moving on to bigger and better things on that other side. You know what it is. This was right before he hit the big time, and it was a real honor to work with him. And I can't thank John for introducing me to him and allowing us to work together on this epic video. But the big one at the end, the big plot twist, sadly, I had to drop out of the story, and I'm here to explain that right now. Things were altered, and I had to address this now because you're not going to see this in any future storylines, and I'm here to address it now. The thing with the Rider belt ain't happening, and I'm going to explain why. It's my first Rider belt, the Kamen Rider Ixa belt. I've already modified it so it'll fit me. Oh, fat bastard. Well, the thing is, for some reason, the hinges broke off. See, it can't connect to the belt. See, this came off. I tried putting it back together with tape and, trying to glue some hinges back onto it, but it just fell to pieces. It's not going to work anymore, so anything you see concerning the Ixa belt don't expect to see in a future storyline. So I just had to make this clear. I'm sorry to get your hopes up, but you're not going to see me in a rider suit. You're not going to see me fight anything big, but enjoy the special effects for what they are. You know, I'm sorry to get your hopes up, but I just had to make this intro. But with that said, it's still an entertaining romp. I can't thank Matt enough. I can't thank John enough for making this video a reality. This was actually made a few months, after. This was actually made a few months later, not right after the Trancers review. So, yeah, I had to write this into the storyline and add a few things that I'm not really proud of, but now that they're on YouTube, I think I can rectify my mistakes. So, without further ado, enough talk, here it is, the Toku Hackdown, Shin Kamen Rider. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.
The date is irrelevant.
Ooh, not so fast, Apollo.
For the love of the gods! Can't I just cut one fracking hackdown without being interrupted by some Giron?
You won't be doing any hackdowns with this day's out, thanks to my secret weapon.
Hack,
Rider?
I hope you enjoyed that last movie you reviewed, Apollo. It was your last.
What are you fracking doing? Are you out of your mind?
Oh, I'm sorry, Hack, but you've been a thorn in our sides for far too long. Besides, anyone who likes Decade as much as you deserves to die.
What's in it for you?
I've come around, Hack. I've chosen the winning side. They're gonna make tokusatsu available worldwide with the help of 4 kids. Tired of dark storylines, Japanese motifs, and too much violence? 4 Kids has the answer with its Toku USA block of programming. We've got Saban's Masked Rider, Ultraman Tiga dubbed into English, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, and that Zyto remake of Space Sheriff Shader that no one ever liked. It's all here on the CW4 Kids. Isn't it glorious?
Backstabbing motherfracker.
The Vanity Alliance has made a great deal with us. They give us the resources to take over the Reviewverse. Once you're out of the way.
Well, Hack, a job is a job. Any final requests?
Want to tackle this bastard for old time's sake? Shin Kamen Rider. Oh, come on! Deep down, you're still a Toku critic? You can't possibly resist.
Oh, why not? I don't mind prolonging your inevitable execution. Besides, if I had $1 for every fan who wanted me to review that Toku, I'd be spoony rich. That's Apollo Z Hack. I'm Dark Easy Rider, and this is Shin Kamen Rider Prologue.
So let me pitch it to you. So, take the original Kamen Rider and go Godzilla 98 on it. You know what I'm talking about. Take an extremely popular concept and completely turn it on its head so that it's practically unrecognizable. In this case, make Kamen Rider as its creator originally intended it to be, and whammo! You get Shin Kamen Rider.
It turns out this movie was trying to focus on the tragedy and sorrow that comes with being a Kamen Rider and, by extent, a superhero. You know, great power, great responsibility, and all that junk. Because, yeah, that never gets old.
The story follows 2 geneticists who intend to find a way to create the perfect human. Oh, and eliminate AIDS and cancer as well. Our hero of this venture is aptly named Shin.
Get it? It's spelled I-R-O-N.
Alright, I think they get the message. Shin begins to dream about a grasshopper monster that goes around killing people. I don't see why that's so important. I mean, I dream about that all the time happening to J.J. Abrams.
Oh great, if this turns out to be another virtual Japan and not the real one, I'm dropping this movie right now.
大丈夫？
愛、俺ずっとここにいたよな。
どうしたの？
いや、別に。
But it turns out that this little science fair project is being funded by, get ready for this, an evil organization who wants to use this for their own evil intentions.
One of the doctors tries the experiment on himself, no cliche there, and goes friggin' Predator on a SWAT team that just happens to drop in after the procedure. Hal Jordan do that to the Green Lantern Corps once, you know, turn into a monster and kill everybody?
I wouldn't know. I'm not a comic book reading virgin.
No, I'm pretty sure he... Hey!
And if crime lords weren't enough, some CIA chick is after the Syndicate and our hero, since, well, duh, when hasn't a monster, normal or giant size, been deemed threatening in Japan?
あなたとファイトするつもりはないわ、シン。どうやら同じ探し物をしているようだから。
え？
悪いこと言わないわ。私に協力して。
協力？
私の最終的な狙いは財団の壊滅よ。
どういうことだ？君は一体。
逃げて、シン。ただし研究所はダメ。シンと私の殺傷会知れてしまったから。
There's also a love interest with Shin, but it feels kind of forced. There are some TNA shots in the movie if you're interested, perverts. But seriously, if you need to watch a whole film for 10 seconds of nudity, get some help, for the love of God.
So a pretty girl admits that she loves the main protagonist? How exactly does that turn out in your line of work, Ryder?
She's a goner.
Turns out Shin's girlfriend becomes pregnant, and when she's captured by the bad guy, the child actually calls out to Shin from the womb telepathically. What the frack?
I've got nothing I care to mention out loud about that scene.
Eventually, we see our hero turn into the title character, 50 minutes into the movie. The effect work is pretty sweet, allowing Shin to transform into a Guyver-esque grasshopper monstrosity.
Right you are, Apollo. For being called a Kamen Rider, our hero actually pulls a Bruce Banner of all things, and hulks out.
Now I gotta warn you all, this movie may be gory as an exploitation film, but the fights are few and very quick. If you're used to the consistent action of the Showa era or the fast-paced action of the Heisei era, you may want to pass on this one.
Yeah, the influences from David Cronenberg's movie The Fly are blatant and uncanny in this movie, but I can assure you this is not a cut, copy, and paste ripoff. Especially since there are no slowed-down car crash scenes in this movie, something Cronenberg gets off on apparently. Just saying.
Unfortunately, Shin was not released in the United States, but if you poke around on the internet a little bit, you might be able to come across a region-free DVD. Unlike Jay or Zeto, Shin only has 2 major battles and doesn't battle to the big bad like his followers. For what it's worth, Shin is really a frackin' badass, especially when he decapitates one of his opponents.
Fatality.
That was Shin Kamen Rider Prologue. Something I was supposed to do after this review is over. Oh, right! Alright, Hack. The review's over. Prepare to die.
Yes, and once Apology Hack is gone, we at the Vanity Alliance will cleanse the media. No Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, or annoying J-pop singing schoolgirls.
What did you just say?
Oh, crap. You weren't supposed to hear that.
You can take my Power Rangers. I can probably live without Kamen Rider, but when you try and take away my hot Asian chicks,
What the frack was that?
Oh, my head! Oh, God! Where am I? Apollo? What in the name of Ishinomori happened to me?
Uh-oh. Senna's going to kill us. Mayday! Mayday! The chip is broken! What are we going to do?
What import game did this clown escape from?
Welcome to my world.
We asked you to kill Easy Rider and Apollo Z Hack, and you're telling me you couldn't do that one simple thing?
Allies with Shadow Moon? That's all I needed to hear. Well, Hack, I don't like you and you don't like me. Temporary alliance?
Frack, yeah? That was therapeutic.
Well, I don't know what happened there, but we make a pretty good team, Apollo.
You know, we may not agree on Decade, but I'd stand with you against those nerf herders any day.
I wholeheartedly agree. There aren't many in the reviewiverse I trust more than you, Apollo. Well, my fans in Imagine are probably worried sick, so I'd best get going.
I understand.
Oh, wait, before I leave, I think it's safe to warn you, and you alone. The Vanity Alliance will not stop. Especially not today, after their hired goons failed to kill both you and I, and we're both on their hit list. A war is coming, Hack. Or should I say, Reviewer 1. And when that day comes, Apollo, and believe you me, it's sooner than you think, you had better decide where you stand in all this geekdom. Because when it does, you will not be the only one with the power.
Lords of Cobalt.
What do you say, Hack? How about we settle this bad blood between two top Toku fans once and for all?
So be it.
Henshin!
Wrap up!
Major, look! Look at this! Look at this belt! I don't know how it did it, but it was in the old house I grew up in. My brother had it in his belongings, and I woke up with it on me, and I just can't believe my brother, of all people, was a... Hey, what are you spraying me with? This bothersome thing. You I can keep. But this thing just brings you trouble. I'm sorry, kid. You're not ready to use this yet. Hopefully one day, you will be. What else could